It's showtime at Homestead, Miami.
Andre Baranowskis at the line, steals it in the Indy 250.
On if the back in trouble, let it go. Gordon to the wall, jumps right around.
Side by side on the final lap, coming to the checkered flag.
Steve Morgan, the last lap pass, and the victory in Las Vegas.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Just watch me now. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. Just watch me now.
For the first time since season number 1, the NOFSRL New Era Cup Series heads to the Paperclip, the Martinsville Speedway, and they returned right under the lights in NOFSRL Night in America. Welcome to round number 12 of the NOFSRL New Era Cup Series. Today, it's the Goodies 500. Good evening, everyone. I'm Marty Sakala. Glad you all could join us. Thank you to all of our first responders out there working during these tough times. We hope you all are staying safe and staying healthy. First time we've been to the track since season number 1, and it's the final race, a part of that long and big short track string we've had the past few weeks. And Napa fan who joins me in the booth for the first time since Fontana. Napa, welcome. There's 2 words on the mind of these drivers here at Martinsville Speedway. Number 1 is patience, and number 2, the apex. This is a place where you're going to run the low line perfectly. Kind of similar to a short track Saturday night at your local racetrack. How big is that for these drivers today? Patience and the apex.
Well, if they don't hit the apex correctly, which is something that we're going to see a lot of, they're going to be overshooting the corners a little bit tonight. You're not going to have a good race. You're going to fall back, but it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. We're under the lights. The grip level is surprisingly on the opposite end for this version of Martinsville, so these guys are going to be sliding up a little bit more than what we're used to. But either way, as long as they're patient, realize it's a 125-lap race. You got a lot of time in this race to work their way from the back to the front. They might have a good day today, but we got a lot of great drivers starting up front, especially the 2 guys on the front row.
Absolutely, we'll get to that in a moment. But anyway, let's look at the standings after the 11th race in Oswego. We've actually got the playoff standings up for you right now at the moment. Now, for those of you guys wondering why there is an asterisk next to Eagle Barretto, he's considered a part-time car, but he has still made every race this season. So if he does keep the top 16 in points, remember he won last week at the Oswego Speedway, he would be into the playoffs. Johnny Gardner, Brian Ferris, they've pretty much locked themselves into the playoffs with 2 wins right now. At least they have 10 playoff points at the moment. Then you look at the cutoff right now. Right now, Christian Vargas has that cutoff with a 9-point gap over Carter Freeze, and then behind him, Matthew Logan, Eric Monaco, and Neil Clifford. And then you also got to look at as well, Marty Johnson, 29th in points coming in, has a 24-point lead over the 31st place car. Remember, you got to be in top 30 if you want to be in the playoffs. Let's give you the starting lineup for round number 12 of the Goodies 500. In row number 21, Casey Nanico and Patrick Smith. Nanico is one at a familiar Virginia track not far from here. That is the Richmond Raceway. That's row number 20. Row 19, Colin Denton and Dylan Young, a dominant car last week at Oswego. Did not win though. Row number 18, Hendrick teammates. Alex Lozano and points leader CJ Williams, 39 up on teammate Diego Rossello. Row number 17, it's Benny Watson and good friend Trey Bartone next to him. Row number 16, Justin Zidell and Marty Johnson, one of the few drivers that has raced at this track before. Row number 15, you got Carter Friesen in the 37. Derek Hamill next to him in the 32. Row number 14, Neil Clifford trying to make it into the top 16. And Texas winner Jesse Turner. The 13th row gives us Daniel Voiles in the 47 and two-time winner this season, Johnny Garner. Row number 12, Tyler Marco, Las Vegas winner in the 48, and Eli right next to him. Miguel Barreto, last week's winner in the 77, and Edwin Mendez, that is row number 11, out of the top half of the grid. Row number 10, Jonathan Logan has raced here before. He's in the 21. John Andrews is next to him. Row number 9, he's won it at a short track before. Diego Rossello, Zach Ryan next to him. Row 8, Chloe Ryder and Ethan Hoffman, Phoenix winner. Row number 7, Matthew Logan and Luke Rainey. Row number 6, Brian Webb and Matt Tuck. And now your top 10. Starting 10th, Eric Monaco, currently 19th on the playoff grid. Inside of him, Brian Ferris. Starting 8th, Mitchell Collins. 7th, Nathan Stapleton. 6th, Cody Smart. 5th is Steve Morgan. 4th, Christian Vargas. 3rd rather, Gatlin Downey. And the front row, not just teammates, but fellow Australians. Zachary Fitzwater and his good mate, Stuart Gretton, lines up on the pole for today's race. Today's race, 125 laps. That equals 65 3/4 of a mile. The stages will end at laps 33 and 65 for the playoff point and those bonus points. The fuel window about 90 to 95 laps, but because of how hard these drivers are going to be racing, it could affect the tires big time, so these drivers could be pitting earlier as well. Napa, who do you think is going to win at the Paperclip and celebrate with a hot dog at the end?
I'm looking at my man Nathan Stapleton. He won this race, or won here in Martinsville, I should say, in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series 2 years ago. And he's got a very good starting position on the inside lane, and that's my big reasons where he's starting. I'd watch out for Nathan Stapleton to be the strongest guy today, but you cannot count out Gratton and Fitzy on the front row either. Those guys are solid guys as well.
They make up the front row. Aussies lead the way. The Paperclip, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime! Oh, Greg is a little bit tied up in 1 and 2. Opens the door for the 52 of Downey to try to go to the inside. He has not had a good start to the season. All the way in the back of the full-time drivers. But Stewart got a good corner off of turn number 2. He remains in the race lead as they come to the start-finish line. It's Gretton that will lead the first lap at Martinsville.
Downey able to work that inside there. Downey could not hold it, but I know Downey's going to have another shot on the 41 eventually. It's a really long race. Got 3 wide there with Stapleton. Almost 3 wide. They keep it back down.
Yep, kept it on back to be safe. Cody Smart and Christian Vargas also part of that 3 wide situation as well. Lap 2 already onto the boards here. Gratton, meanwhile, continuing to lead. Downey not giving up. And right now, like we said earlier in the show, but Brian Ferris is going inside on Stapleton for 7th. This is a chess game. You've got to be patient.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a long race, too. I mean, 125 laps, about 20-second laps. It's going to take a while before we get to the finish of this race here at Martinsville. So these guys are going to have time, and who knows what this race is going to throw at them. We'll say Stapleton's struggling just a little bit there in that outside lane. You got the 15 moving to the inside of the 19 behind him, but he is trying to work that outside lane there on Matt Tuck.
Absolutely. That's the battle right now for about the 8th position on track. Let's focus back up front for the lead. Gatlin Downey on that back bumper of Stuart Gratton. Not giving up, though, just yet. Stuart Gratton would love to get a win. The Season 3 champion of the series has never raced at Martinsville before.
And that's what we were talking about. The grip here is a lot less than what we've had in past years, and because of that, these guys can miss the apex, shoot up the racetrack a little bit. That was an opportunity for Downey, but he couldn't get to the inside. Yeah,
Gratton pretty much just shut the door on him. But I think Gatlin just wants to be patient, you know, because, Stewart gets wide again. I think he's got a pretty tight car, and Downey trying to capitalize here.
I don't think he has to be that patient. That 41's going to move out to the outside here and give Downey the lead here soon.
Take you on board with Zachary Fitzwater as you see Downey take the lead for a moment, side by side. That's probably the best angle we have right now. They're topping off at about 120 miles out, but high on the brakes, but Downey goes wide as well. Here comes Fitzy.
And this is a lot of what we saw in the Turkey Hill Series and the Chick-fil-A Cup Series past couple of nights, and we're seeing it once again here in the New Era Cup Series. These guys going wide off the corner, even when they're making the passes, it creates for very, very fun, interesting racing. And Grattan with the crossover on Downey.
That's what, last time you were calling the race, remember we saw a crossover on the final lap. These drivers are going wild already. Grattan retakes the lead from Downey, not giving it up though off of turn 2. Does he have the edge entering 3? We'll just have to wait and see.
Downey's going to be really wide there through the corner, but he's really, really rolling it through that outside lane.
Man, this is a fun start already. Thank goodness we came back to the paperclip. Grattan inside on Downey.
Version.
Yeah, great version. This is the only night track, I believe, at Martinsville. This is technically, it's meant for the modified series, but it still provides some amazing racing here. There's still...
You gotta watch out for Fitzwater here, too. I mean, Grattan could shoot up one of these corners and push Downey out of the way, and Fitzy can make it 3 wide for the race lead.
How about the Stewart-Haas teammates as well? Good qualifying for them, you should say at least. Grattan's running second, Fitzwater third, Cody Smart was just in fourth for a moment. May have gotten bumped.
He's gonna hit the wall
Almost did. That was close. Their other teammate, Patrick Smith, currently running in at the 39th spot. Downey doing a good job right now. Let's get you that battle as well for 5th position. Cody Smart and Brian Ferris. Ferris already with 2 wins this season. But meanwhile, Steve Morgan gets a little bit tight.
Might have a yelp. Nope. It's still green.
Surprisingly, they've gone green for 12
They've
laps.
done a good job in this race. You know, like you said, it's a bit of a surprise that we haven't seen a yellow yet in this one. But that's awesome. The way they can race here without wrecking is pretty darn cool. And see the 15 there of Luke Rainey moving to the inside of Cody Smart. Smart's falling back on that outside lane. He's lost a few positions past few laps.
Yeah, absolutely. The AI difficulty, by the way, since it is AI, and we should mention that, set at 98%. As you see there, I think that was Downey that got wide a little bit a few moments ago. But 98% is what the difficulty is at. It's not the slowest we've had this season. I believe the slowest difficulty may be also at Martinsville as well when we come here in the fall. Difficulty at the moment is set to 98. That's a different version. As you see, Ferris inside on Morgan for the 4th spot. Take you on board with that number 13 car, the defending champion of the series, Steve Morgan.
Yeah, I think so. I think these guys definitely got to watch out for his tire wear, because that's going to come into effect. That's going to definitely affect how well you can break into the corners, and that tire wear is really going to come into effect on how well these guys drive the racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. Ferris doing a good job now with the momentum that they're losing here. This has opened up the door a little bit for Luke Rainey in the 15. Let's show you his perspective as they work their way into 3.
Steve Morgan might try a crossover on Ferris, but he's not going to get the run there. You know, if you look up at Downey, he's closing in on the back of the field already, and this is very possible that if it stays green, they're going to catch up to the back of the field. You got the 53 there, Neil Clifford there.
Now remember, those two are teammates, so they're... Oh, he goes way wide. Nearly gets the wall. Now, there could be some team orders here. Because, well, you know what? Maybe not. Let's think about it this way. In the lead is Downey. Last is Clifford. Second is Grattan. 39th is Jesse Turner comes down pit road. I think he's got a problem with the 43. I think we're hearing a vibration on the car. Let's see what's going on with this car.
Turner's had a lot of bad luck here. It was that same race that Stapleton won a few years ago in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Turner was leading coming to 2 to go, ran out of gas, and which led way to Stapleton winning, and it looks like that's more than just a tire issue on the 43. Tough break for Turner. This is not his place.
Yeah, absolutely tough break. So as I was saying, race leader is Gatlin Downey. 40th is Neil Clifford. Second is Stuart Grattan, and 39th is Patrick Smith. This could get interesting here.
It could.
Challenge for second,
Clifford
though.
almost got around, and how about Brian Ferris? He actually got around Fitzwater. Now he's going to the inside of Grattan for a second. He's moved through the field very well on that 20 machine.
Already has 2 wins this season. coming at Atlanta as well as Talladega. He's off to a good start. He's had some tough newer Cup Series seasons in the past, but this is a good year for him already. As Fitzwater looks inside on Stuart Grant, that's for third on the track. This race as well, once we complete it tonight, will be a completion of 1/3 of the season already. How crazy is that?
Goes by fast. For six of the Cup Series hit that mark. The Talladega a couple weeks ago. We run a shorter season, but still. No, even though real life NASCAR isn't back up and running quite yet, and we haven't had it, I mean, it's all felt like it's gone by quickly, and you know, we're really getting into the heat of the season. We got Charlotte coming up, All-Star Weekend for both series next weekend. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that
Marty,
reminds me.
we should trade off and call each other's All-Star races. You know?
Oh, blow it up! It's Clifford!
Oh boy!
Oh, Fitzwater runs into the back of him!
Just a little bit of damage there. That slowed him up a little bit. He's going to lose some ground. Tough break for the 53. That was the most inopportune car to blow up because he was right at the end of the field, right in front of the leaders.
Yeah, we'll see what the issue is after the race that caused that to happen. Meanwhile, battle for third position. Luke Rainey trying to capitalize on the situation. Going into turn number 3. Hang on!
Oh boy.
Steve Morgan
They're gonna be
makes
pretty
it
wide off the
3
corner.
wide. Oh man, that got rough. They're still touching, being offenders. Welcome to short track racing.
Saturday night. That's what
Yep.
it's about.
One of my favorite times of the year, going to a local short track on a Saturday night. Brian Ferris, meanwhile, up to the back bumper of Gatlin Downey. The lead is cut down from about a half second. Come on,
Yeah,
to
Ferris is
0.46.
going to get around Downey here eventually. That number 20 is the fastest car on the racetrack, no doubt about it.
Fastest lap as well, by almost a 10th.
Yeah, he's got that thing on rails right now. He's hitting the apex. He's doing everything right, and Downey slid up again. That 20 is probably going to get him in a couple of laps.
Look at the top 3, by the way. All Gibbs cars have the fastest laps right now. Those Toyotas are pretty fast right now with the Paperclip early on. So, let's get back to... Oh, hang on. We got a challenge for the lead. Downey got way wide again. And this could open the door for Brian Ferris. By the way, we have got 4 laps to go in stage number 2. Or, yes, 4 to go.
Yeah, they're going to be going for the stage win here.
This could get good.
Yeah, Downey keeps on going wide, and Ferris has a better apex, but Downey keeps on working the outside off the corner, though, and that's helping him out just a little bit ahead of the 20.
Ferris trying everything. He may have to use the bumper if he wants the stage win. You know, in short track racing, my buddies and I, we call this the Teddy Christopher method because it was inspired by him. There's Morse code at Martinsville. Number 1, just one letting you know I'm there. Number 2, time to move. Number 3, I'm moving you. And now they've got lap traffic, so Marty Johnson could potentially determine who wins stage 1. Remember, he's in a situation where he wants to be inside the top 30 big time. He's on the bubble right now, currently 29th, 24 points up.
And hopefully he'll move out of the way for Downey here, but that 12 definitely seems to be a little bit slower than our race leaders.
Oh, he put the bumper to him. There's number 1 in Morse code.
We'll have to see if the 52 can get around him, though. That's a interesting question. We're later on into a run. Maybe
There's
the tire
number
wear
2.
is benefiting these guys. Downey, oh boy. That's a close angle right there. He could have clipped him around into the wall, but thankfully kept it together there.
Downey wins.
Here we go.
Downey wins stage number 1, first stage win of the year for him, I believe. Second is Brian Ferris. Third, Luke Rainey. Fourth, Steve Morgan. Fifth, Stuart Gratton. Sixth, Zachary Fitzwater. Seventh, Cody Smart. 8th, Mitchell Collins. 9th, Ethan Hoffman. And 10th is Matt Tuck. Downey working his way by Marty Johnson. Brian Ferris trying to get by as well. I think Johnson's just going to say, okay, you two have at it, okay? Anyway,
Ferris might not get around him here. Nah, he will.
Anyway, as we were saying, maybe call each other's all-star races. I would be so up for that. Mine's going to be live streamed, so no premiere. As it happens, when I see it for the first time, it's the same time you're going to see it as well. And this should be a good idea to plug our fan votes. If you've not voted yet, make sure you do so soon.
Boy, you got a battle for the lead here. That's Ferris. He got him finally.
You nipped him at the line.
side this time.
Got him by 2/100ths of a second, and Brian Ferris, the fastest car on track, trying to check out, but Downey not giving up. He's pretty good on that high side, Napa.
He is. But Ferris trying to really get him on that outside lane and get him way off the groove, but Downey's holding tough there. You know, Ferris probably used up his stuff once he got to Downey. I think these cars are a lot more equal than they were earlier on in the run, so watch out for Ferris. He might not be able to take the lead away. You got the 14 coming up as well here. Patrick Smith might get in the way here, but Ferris, I think he might finally clear.
He does.
Entering turn 1.
Now, with all the momentum they lost here, does this help out Luke Rainey, currently in third? Gained about 600ths last lap. We'll have
He
to
actually
see what
was
happens.
at one point about 3 seconds behind, so it gained quite a bit on those guys as they battled, try to get around Marty Johnson and Morgan way up the racetrack there.
Yeah, gotta be careful there. Ferris, I think Patrick Smith's just gonna let him by without a problem either. Only Stuart Haas car outside of the top 10 for right now. How about the Toyotas as well? They're doing pretty good right now. You got Ferris leading, and then you got Hoffman in 8th, Tuck in 9th, and Collins in 10th. I think they're having a good battle of their own right now. And they've caught up to the Stuart Haas boys. So we got a team game happening right now. Stuart Haas versus Joe Gibbs.
Yeah, it's a lot of battles going on this racetrack. I mean, we've been focusing on the battle for the lead, and that's been good, but there's a lot of good battles throughout the whole top 10, top 20. I mean, the Stuart Haas guys have really been on each other. Smart fell back a little bit earlier on, but he's been able to rebound quite a bit here in the number 10. You got Grattan in 5th, and then Fitzy fell all the way back to 7th there. You got Ethan Hoffman in 8th.
Yeah,
He was one of the faster guys earlier on, but Smart might get a run here on Grattan for the 5th position.
Yep, just gotta be patient right now. Remember, that's one of our key words. Patience if you want to have a good chance at winning. You know how Brian Ferris got the lead. Excuse me. You know how Brian Ferris got the lead from Gatlin Downey? He's put up over a second lead, by the way, at the moment. He was patient, and once they got by Marty Johnson, Ferris took the challenge, and he got it.
And Rainey's closing in on the race leader as well. He's under 2 seconds now on Ferris, and he's looking to get around Gatlin Downey here as well. Downey's really falling back. Morgan's also getting brought in, or excuse me, that's Marty Johnson
Smith
there.
got the wall.
Is behind him.
Smith got the wall off the turn 4. I don't know if you saw it, but Sparks flew off of that 14, so he did catch the wall. Let's see off of turn 2 if we can see some right side damage. I don't think we will. But he did get that wall off of turn 4. These tires are starting to get shot.
And I think as the tire wear gets in here, we might have a possibility of a wreck. If we got a side-by-side battle and they hit a little too hard in the gas off the corner and slide up into each other, we could definitely see that here. And if we don't, we have green flag pit stops here at Martinsville. That would be insane.
Absolutely. I can't believe that's a possibility, but you may have jinxed it, Napa. I don't know. We've had that happen before in some of our races in the past. That's the battle for 8th. Matt Tuck, Ethan Hoffman. That scheme on Matt Tuck will switch when we get to the 600 because of Memorial Day weekend. You'll see a red, white, and blue car, if I recall correctly. Because you know Matt, he loves his paint jobs.
No comment.
Don't worry,
I'm just messing with him too. all in a big inside joke for us now.
We should add as well, by the way, speaking of the 600, once that gets going, we'll have some new cars open, by the way. So stay tuned to the Discord. They will be cars coming out of the not eNASCAR Heat Pro League. I almost messed that up. The eNASCAR Pro Invitational iRacing Series. So there will be a 98 open. I believe that one's going to Tristan Allen. But stay tuned to the Discord for rides open. And yeah, we got that battle for second heat up. We should add as well. Stage number 2 ends in 16 laps. The green-white checkered will come at around lap 65. And you see Brian Ferris is kind of a little bit stuck on the high side, though. He's got a battle ahead. Dylan Young, Alex Lozano. That is for 33rd on the track. Last spot on the lead lap. Right now, they want to stay on that lead lap, especially if a yellow flag comes out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if a yellow does come out, because we're pretty close to halfway through this race already, and we really haven't even seen anything close to a yellow being brought out yet in this race. Now, that's not to say it won't happen, especially if we can end up with a mechanical issue if someone stopped on the racetrack. That's a very high possibility, no matter where we go. But Ryan Ferris is liking what he's seeing. However, Downey and Rainey are closing back in on him here, and he's having a little bit of trouble getting through the lap traffic.
Saw Steve Morgan as well give the chrome horn to Marty Johnson. He's currently running in 2.73 seconds back. Came into the standings ninth, 5 points behind race points leader C.J. Williams, and 14 points above the cutoff. So the bonus points he's getting right now from the stages is good. C.J. Williams, meanwhile, not having a good day at the moment. Currently running in the 31st position. He's got a visor cam today. Let's take you for a lap with C.J. Williams. And right now, Diego Rossello currently standing in 20th. Igor Barreto is in 18th. Mitchell Collins right now could be the big gainer in this. Currently in 10th spot. He's got to deal with Colin Denton. Now has to deal with Dylan Young in a little bit. Focus on that battle for second. Rainey's still trying to close in on Downey as they work their way into turn number 3. Now, Steve Morgan could get into this battle as well. A big gap as well between Morgan and Cody Smart. Smart running in 5th spot. Fitzwater has fallen back to 8th. Hoffman has been able to make a pass on the 4. Fitzy, by the way, coming into the standing 6th, 36 points above that cutoff for the playoffs.
Ferris able to pull away a little bit more here. But I think it's going to be interesting if this thing stays green and we end up with green flag pit stops with all these lap cars in the way. And two, I don't know how well they're going to be able to come in and out the pit lane without running into people, because the entrance and the exit are on the same straightaway, and the crossover sometimes leads to calamity, and they got to be careful to avoid that. And you know, whenever we get a caution during green flag pit stops, it whacks everything out.
Absolutely. We saw that happen last week at Oswego, happened in the Daytona 500 as well. That's Ferris trying to put a lap on points leader C.J. Williams. Here's the battle for third, by the way. Steve Morgan has caught up to Luke Rainey. You're on board with the Geico Chevrolet, the defending champion of the series. Looking for third on the track. Nothing working just yet, but Rainey going to be going higher here.
Yeah, Patrick Smith has actually gained back around Rainey and a lot of those guys, and that's allowed Morgan to come in on the 15 here.
Absolutely. Good battle for 8th at the moment. Luke Rainey coming in 7th in the standings, 30 points above the cutoff. Morgan, now Smith separates the 15 and the 13. 15, 14, 13, 12 as well. I wish we had Mendez in here so then we could have 10 behind the 11. How about that? What a coincidence there, Napa.
That's kind of interesting there.
I point out the darndest things, I tell ya.
Yeah, you know, some people's brains work differently than others. That's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah,
Ferris's brain's working pretty well tonight. He's been really smart around the lap traffic. He's been hitting the apex, and he moved through the field earlier on to take the lead. I mean, he's definitely the guy to beat in this race so far, as we're about to end stage 2.
Yeah,
65.
4 laps to go in the stage.
About halfway through the race as well here at Martinsville.
I think we are halfway now, yeah. We are just about halfway. It's about 62.5. Now we've reached halfway. Without a caution as well, surprisingly, and I don't think we are too far away from pit stop because of the tire issues as well. You see
There's
Nathan
someone down Stapleton. Now, I don't know if that's scheduled or what.
Let's see if we can get him. There he is.
No, there's someone else also coming down. So yeah, we got
Morgan.
the cycle right at halfway. That's going to make things interesting. I think for our race leaders, they'll be fine. But a little bit of strategy out of Stapleton right there. You know, you get those fresh tires a little bit early on.
Rainey and Downey came down pit road. Same with Cody Smart, Matthew Logan.
Watch out for Rainey and Downey. They could gain an advantage on Ferris as long as the caution doesn't come out. They could gain a little bit on him because they have the slightly fresher tires. That could allow them to drive a little bit faster than the 20 machine.
And Ferris is going to come in as well. Now, Does he get stage number 2? Everyone's going. Where's Mitchell Collins? Teammates for stage number 2. Who's going to get the point? Collins got
it.
Oh, man. Ferris should have waited an extra lap, in my opinion.
Well, he wants the race win. He wants the race win. He did not want Rainey
Yellow. Trey Bartow spins in the 27.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, man.
All you need for them to do is come down the pit lane. Now, you know who that benefits? Mitchell Collins. So, yes, Ferris should have stayed out for that stage.
Some drivers got
or Eli Bright, excuse me, in the 8 machine also got some damage there.
So at the yellow, Collins was the race leader. Got some drivers stacking up there for a moment. Some coming out, some coming in. These drivers should be coming in. Yes, they are. But I think it does
help. Brian Ferris is going to be on the tail end now, I think.
Yeah.
He bought the pace car. And that's exactly what I said. You get a caution in the middle of green flag pit stops, it just turns everything on its head. So we're going to have a completely different race now.
Now, think of this as well. If we go green the rest of the way, we could have pit stops near the final laps of the race, depending on the tire situation. And I was about to mention an interesting McNugget. Sorry, Larry Mack. Or a trend. The last few races we've had where drivers have swept stages 1 and 2, they never won the race. We saw that at Oswego with Dylan Young last week. Brian Ferris luckily isn't on that negative end on it, but right now this could affect him the most. Let's see what happened to Trey Bartow. So watch the onboard with the 13 of Steve Morgan. There's Bartow in the 27. Was Bartow just trying to come in?
He might have been, but it's hard to tell.
There's Eli Bright. Tough break for him. As well in the 8. But the yellow flag is out. Let's get ready for the restart. We get ready for the restart. Mitchell Collins is the race leader. So good call by his team to stay out. And look how many cars separate him from second. Eric Monaco is going to have 3 cars in front of him before he can reach the race leader. Edwin Mendez is 3rd. Brian Webb 4th. Igor Barreto is 5th. Man, did Trey Bartow and Steve Morgan turn this race on its axis. Back into the zone we go. And where's Collins? There he is. Meanwhile, they're stacking him up into turn number 1. We go back up through the gears.
Collins has to be careful. There's so many lap cars around him. If he gets stuck on the outside, someone is bound to get to the inside of him. He got the 6 moving his way on the inside. Brian Webb.
We saw that at Oswego Speedway. Chloe Reiner was the leader on the restart last week. And then Diego Rossello got the lead, and then Igor Barreto came by. So now here comes Brian Webb. Brian Webb is looking for the inside on Collins for the lead. Comes in 5th in the standings, and look at this mess in turn 3. That's an Oklahoma land rush, just in a paperclip.
Yeah, if we get another caution, a lot of these guys ahead of Collins and Webb will actually get back around on the lead lap, so it could actually clear things up if we got another quick caution.
Absolutely. How about Igor Barreto as well? Currently running in 3rd, trying to go back-to-back. That's not happened in a long while.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool if he were able to pull that off. Don't see back-to-back wins very often, but you might see it here tonight.
We saw it in your Hers Dash series a few weeks ago. Someone won the first 2 races of the season. That
was actually Eric Monaco, who's actually 5th right now, who did that. So those leaders have gotten back on the inside. They're all right on each other, but no one's on the outside. So I don't think we're going to see much of a pass. Actually, Webb came close on Collins there.
Take you on board with the 6. He is up to that spoiler. On the 19, no bumper there just yet. Igor Barreto is there, 3 cars. You can put them all under a blanket, single file, battling for a lead. Now Collins has a teammate in front of him. Oh, there goes Webb. Webb goes down low, he's got it.
Yeah, that was a good move there. Collins just went wide, and Webb's going to have the advantage on the inside lane right here. Or at least try to get it. Of course, it's Collins' teammate right ahead of him, but that's not going to be enough to slow Webb down. New race leader.
Brian Webb has tried so much. Oh, Bartow with the wall again. So him and Ryan made some contact off of 2. This is going to slow the leaders down. Here comes Collins on the outside.
Yeah, that Collins just kept it in the gas there, but I still don't think he's going to get it here. You got Tyler Markle in the way here in the 48. He's a lap down, looking to get his lap back on Brian Webb here.
First car a lap down, currently running in the 29th position. Here comes Mendez as well, going by Barretto for third. Diego Rossello back into the picture as well, running in 5th position. Do you know how?
Watch out for Markel there. He's going to put Webb 3 wide. Or he almost looked like he was.
And Collins should get the inside.
Got it.
Here comes Mendez.
Mendez going to take second. But Webb's on the outside lane now.
He should get back down low in front of Markle. Yes, he does.
You gotta watch out for Trey Bartow as well. He's been a bit of an issue tonight.
Absolutely.
Bartow,
So as I was
what's going on?
As I was saying, Diego Rossello is hungry. Oh, so close to win number 2 at Oswego last week. He has been so good on these short tracks this season. Comes in second in the standings. One of 2 rookies to win. The other rookie was Barretto last week. And Rossello would love to have a rematch. I think that's all we'll say about it right now. He's looking for third on Collins. He's hungry.
He is. And number 9's looking to the inside there. Collins is continuing to slip up. Hey, how about Hamill there in 5th?
Yeah, he's doing a good
Great
job.
run for him as well.
Been quiet all season.
All
How about
guys who are battling right now really weren't even in the top 10. They decided to stay out, and it worked out for them.
Isn't it ironic, by the way, Napa fan, that the car that's leading, it's a hot dog company?
That's very fitting.
Yeah.
Marco doesn't want him to win, though. I mean, that 48 keeps on trying to get to the inside of him. Getting around Bartow here.
Remember, he's got Rossello in 4th, a Hendrick teammate. Those two have worked together pretty much all season to help out the 9 get a win. They each have a win this season. Remember, Marco won at Las Vegas, the 2nd race of the season. As you can see, the drivers in 2nd and 3rd, Mendez and Collins, working their way on Trey Bartow. Hoffman trying to work with those drivers at the moment. Been a very good race so far, to say the least. Can't believe we're saying that at a track like Martinsville.
Oh, yeah, this is a great version. I'm really glad I stumbled upon this. Hey, I'm really glad NASCAR made a decision to add lights here and have a night race, or originally planned to have a night race. Obviously, plans don't mean a thing anymore, but still, we're going to have a great race here for the win, I think.
Absolutely. Look at the gap, though, that Brian Webb has put up on Mendez. That's nearly 1.5 seconds. Let's get you the best battle on track while we're at it. Derek Hamill, Carter Friesen for 5th.
Yeah, Friesen right behind him here.
Friesen jumped outside of the cutoff after last week at Oswego. Goes high, though, could open the door for Barretto. You know what I just noticed as well, by the way, Napa fan? Look who's in the top 10. This man was a lap down earlier. What in the world are you doing, Marty Johnson?
He stayed out as well, got his lap back, then the caution came out.
Played some good strategy. Right inside the top 10. He needs a good point stay today if he wants to stay inside the top 30.
Odds are he will get a good point stay with the way he's running right now.
Mendez goes by Hoffman. I think there may have been some contact off of 2 for a moment. Not sure about that, though. Here comes Collins and Rossello. CJ Williams currently, by the way, running in 19th, so he would have the provisional points lead for right now. So that did help him out a lot. Collins inside on Hoffman.
Brian Webb's definitely pulled away, put a few cars in between him and second. This is looking good for the number 6, and I think unless a caution comes out, I think it's Webb's race to lose. I don't think we're going to have to come back down again. They came right at halfway. They should be good on fuel. That's usually the trigger point for them coming down the pit lane. Then again, tires also a big factor here as well, and the fact that they made it right at halfway means, or tells me at least, that I think they're going to be able to make it to the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if we go green at the end here, which it's looking like we will, I don't think we're going to have green flag pit stops in this race, since they came right at halfway, like I was saying.
Brian Webb about to put lap.
Oh
my! Morgan and Ryan getting together.
I said that.
Man, that could have brought out another
We
caution.
might end up with one here.
The way they're racing, I think they're asking for a caution. And Brian Webb doesn't want one to happen because he's got a pretty good lead right now over Edwin Mendez. But him and Collins are battling for second at the moment. Teammates as well, they go wide.
Just a little bit there. Collins going to hold it on the inside.
And look
Hamill
as well.
really went wide there off the corner.
Look as well, Barretto got by Hamill for the 5th spot on the track. There it is. Just update on our scoring. But now Mendez trying to fight back on that 19. Teammates.
Yeah, Mendez going to get a run back to the inside of Collins here. Or come close to it at least. Unable to get it right there. 30 laps to go next time by.
Yep, absolutely. Gap is up to 3 seconds for Brian Webb. He's gotten by Steve Morgan. Tough break for him. Was running well, but then he came in before the yellow. He's currently a lap down in 25th.
Yeah, like
So right
we
now,
said, those pit stops, that caution coming out during those green flag pit stops just turned everything on its head. And I know a lot of those guys who were race leaders at this point are not happy about what happened. So it's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
I want to ask you about Brian Ferris because right now, it's a little bit of a mess right now between Fitzy, Patrick Smith, and Luke Rainey. I want to ask you about Brian Ferris. Look at the gap he's put it back down to 10 seconds. It could be it's under 10 seconds now. Do you think he still has the fastest car on the track? Do you think he would catch back up and win?
Not catch back up and win. He still has to pass everyone, and that's going to slow him down. But that's not to say he doesn't have the fastest car on the racetrack. But to close in 10 seconds in 30 laps is quite a bit, and I just don't think Ferris is going to have a shot at it. Even if he is closing in, he actually lost a little bit of ground there. So it's just probably going to stay right around 10 seconds. He might grab a few more positions, but he's going to need a caution if he's going to have a chance. And on top of that, he's going to need to gain positions on pit lane, either stay out, have guys come in, or vice versa. So we'll have to see.
For third, Diego Rossello gets by Edwin Mendez. Nice pass there by the driver of the 9, but goes wide off of turn 4. Almost got the wall. That got close. And Mendez should get it back. Crossover moved by the 11 to take it. Collins has pulled away from that battle a little bit.
Yeah, Mendez fell back there and Rossello closed in, but Mendez does not want to lose the podium position here.
Rossello, remember the last 2 short track races we've had, which was Richmond and Oswego, he's finished inside the top 2 or the podium as well. Currently running in 4th, so 3 top 5s and 3 straight short tracks. Not bad for the driver of the 9 right now.
No, not at all, and he wants that 3rd position.
Oh, yellow!
Someone just went around somewhere.
That is good. I may help out Brian
Matthew Logan.
Ferris.
I think it might have been Logan. He was up in the wall.
Could be Bartow. Oh, man.
Well,
Does Trey have Vickernism?
I don't know. It's not that bad, but still.
But that was not what Brian Webb wanted. He had an amazing gap over Mitchell Collins, and this is going to change everything.
This will be interesting to see what Webb can do here.
Now, what do you think?
By the looks of it, it looks like he will have Steve Morgan in between him and Collins, but he's only going to have Steve Morgan, so that's...
But remember the double file restarts. Morgan may have to go to the inside line, though.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone is staying out.
10 laps left, so... Boy, Webb really isn't going to get it very well here, because if Collins, or should I say Morgan, stays on the inside there, then Morgan's going to be able to keep the inside and allow Collins to move to the inside of Webb. So this thing's far from over here.
Let's see what brought out the yellow. Well, this is we'll just show this in slow motion here. Sorry, Napa fan, I haven't had a chance to show a replay in real time, but
not really necessary for this one. I mean, it makes sense.
It was about time that engine had to let go sometime, and that time was now.
Tough break there for Bartow, but he's had his fair share of issues today.
Yeah, tough break for him, and then he comes
He's
down.
trying to cut down so he can get to the pit lane.
I just don't think he had the momentum to come on in.
Nope. Just stalled it right there, basically.
You can see here, wait for that caution light to come in. There
Right
it is.
there,
Just
yeah.
turned on. Wow, look at
Matthew
the mess.
Logan came close there.
Look at Brian Webb's got to go all the way up high to miss
Yeah.
that. Yikes. All right, yellow flag is out. Time for what could be the money restart. So we get ready for the restart here at Martinsville, and look at that inside line. Many cars will line up there for the restart. Steve Morgan, no damage. Ethan Hoffman, no damage.
I gotta say, this actually plays better into Webb's favor because it's going to be harder for anyone behind him to get to the inside as well. They're pretty much all on equal footing at this point, so...
Let's see what happens, though, when they come to the green flag. 18 laps to go. Webb wants a good jump. There it is. Oh, he's gone. He is gone.
He's got it. Collins is going to try to get it too, though, but he's not going to hold the inside.
Yet. Got a little bit tight there up in the corners. Let's see if he can get by down the back straightaway, which he can.
Yeah,
now
so
he's going to try to chase
yet.
after. Absolutely, so that's kind of going to help out. Now this here... who's the first car in the low line in this pack? It would probably be Lozano or Benny Watson, or he's the lap down.
I don't know if Watson's on the lead lap. I don't think
You'd love for him to be on the lead lap, though, obviously.
Yeah, well, knowing him, he was actually probably 2 laps down, I think, when the first restart happened. I'd keep an eye on this battle, though. Collins is right there.
And this
man, it's basically
these
between
two drivers,
these two guys.
These two drivers are hungry for a win at Martinsville. They've come so close to winning the New Era Cup Series, especially Mitchell Collins. He wants it bad.
Yeah, he's
Almost
really hitting the apex
inside.
better now than Webb is. Webb's kind of overshooting it. Collins might just have the faster race car by a little bit here. We'll have to see if he can close in on that 6 and maybe bump him out of the way. It's only 14 to go now.
15 to go. Yeah, they're coming to 14. But yeah, Collins has a faster best lap time than Brian Webb does at the moment. So this could play into Mitchell's favor. The Stage 2 winner, remember, he's got that playoff point. So if he does win the race, that's then 5 more. So that could give him a good head start towards the playoffs for right now. But Collins, he's almost there.
He's got to win this race. And that's going to be tough with Collins coming in like that.
Came into the standings 4th, 65 points back behind points leader C.J. Williams. He's currently running in 19th. Ooh, wow, a tighter line there off of turn 4. Collins doesn't capitalize just yet.
I think
he's got a lot of time.
Webb's going to make a mistake. I mean, they have both pulled away from everyone else here. It's between these two guys.
2 cars separate second and third.
There won't be any guys on the inside lane either, so it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out for him, but it's definitely between Webb and Collins at this point. I think Collins is going to do all he can to get around that 6 machine. There we go.
Oh, wow, a tight line there. I did too. Remember, he's got a lot of time, so that's where that first key we talked about comes back into play. Patience. Wait for Webb to make a mistake, and here it goes. Webb may have made the mistake. Collins trying to capitalize here, trying to get that lead away. Half car length lead between the first and second. Nothing yet.
This is going to be close here. I think Collins is going to find a way around them before the end of this race, especially with Webb overshooting the way he is. He's definitely been taking a higher line. However, we saw that earlier on with Downey. Got to work that outside lane, get the run off, and that's actually allowing Webb to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. 0.35 is the gap right now. Number 5 in the standings
versus
number 4.
Up.
Way high goes both of them.
Someone on the racetrack.
That's why, Fitzy.
There's the caution.
That's gonna change everything. Oh,
it doesn't change much for the leaders, I don't think, because they were on each other as it was. It's actually going to probably work in Webb's favor a little more because that's less time Collins has to get around him.
Absolutely. Oh, man, oh, man.
There. Start on the outside pole, and obviously
not what
with the caution earlier.
Because remember, Morgan and Hoffman, they're a lap down, and we've got an all single file restart here the rest of the way. Tough break for this man. Zachary Fitzwater started in 2nd, and the day is not going to end right for him. Just a few laps off, and there is the pit board. He's done.
And you see Fitzwater just rolling into the corner, probably an electrical failure or something like that. If that was a tire, he would have been able to get back around to the pit lane. And yeah, Fitzy's going to be done for the night. Tough break for Fitzwater, starting the outside pole for this one. And you see, I mean, Webb and Collins both moved up. That's why I thought someone was down there, and it's going to bring us our third caution, bring us a restart late in the race here. We'll have to see if Collins can get it on Brian Webb.
Could be the final restart of the race, and I think it will be the final restart of the race. So stay tuned. Don't change the video. It's going to be a good finish. Lights are off the pace car. There will be 3 laps to go when we take the green flag, and most likely it is going to come down to these two warriors, Brian Webb and Mitchell Collins. They played strategy before the first caution during a cycle of green flag pit stops. They come in both in the top 5 in points and are dying to get their first ever New Era Cup Series win. They both have tried so hard the past few years, have not been able to get it done. If something happens, though, Diego Rossello, Edwin Mendez, Eagle Barreto can pounce. Let's see what happens. The final restart of the night. It's not showtime. It's crunch time at Martinsville.
Single file restart really benefits the 2 leaders. They're going to stay right with each other. It's basically exactly how it was before the caution came out.
I think Brian Webb may have gotten the better jump. Ooh, gets a little bit tired
wide, but Collins is as well. Collins is really wide. That is not going to help at all.
Yeah, that may have been the race right there. Just really overshot it. Took a big risk. Doesn't pay off. He's going to have to hope for the 6 to make a mistake as he goes down the back straightaway. This time by. He goes wide. Collins, it's not over yet.
Oh, it isn't.
Final lap at Martinsville.
Webb's going to really have to mess up on this lap if it's going to go to Collins, though.
Out of turn number 2. Nice lead for Brian Webb. 2 turns to go, and he gets his first New Era Cup Series victory. He goes wide once again.
Not going to be enough.
Not going to be enough. Brian Webb, first career win in the New Era Cup Series, gets it done at Martinsville.
That was a well-earned win, too.
Came in 5th in the points and finally gets his first ever New Era Cup Series win. Almost won his first ever New Era Cup Series race that came at the Daytona 500 in Season 4. Took off last season, and now he's back, and now he is going to victory lane.
Congratulations to Brian Webb. A great win for that team. Collins had a great run as well, but Webb just had the stronger car at the end. That was just all there was to it.
Came down to that last restart, and Webb got it to pay off. Good finish for a lot of drivers as well, besides Collins 2nd. Mendez 3rd, Barreto 4th, Rossello 5th, Friesen 6th, Denton 7th, Lozano 8th, Nanico 9th, Dylan Young, who was a lap down earlier on, finished in 10th. Brian Ferris could not make his way back up to the top 10, comes home in 12th spot. If we stayed green the entire way, most likely Brian Ferris would have gotten his 3rd win of the season.
Wasn't the case, though. But still got a good run, though, in 12th. Yeah. So that's going to help him in the points, help him out, keep in the top 30. But take a look at the rest of the results right there. And
that points gap, by the way, look at that. C.J. Williams comes home in 23rd. We've got a good battle where when we go to the Coke 600, C.J. Williams could lose the points lead.
It'll be interesting to see how it all works out.
Absolutely. Here are the rest of the drivers that did not complete the entire race, finished either a lap down or retired. Alrighty, so here are the standings after round 12 as we head into the All-Star break. Brian Webb stays in 5th, though, in points, but all that matters is he's got that win he has been looking for all season long. And by the way, that win puts him into the All-Star race. So he does not have to go through the Open next week to get that done.
Good for him.
Good to see that happen. As we go on through the rest of the standings, Marty Johnson got out of the sucker hole, but now the next guy that could be in danger, Jesse Turner. He's got 214. Derek Hamill's got 189. So that's about probably 25 points now to the good for Jesse Turner. So it's a good gap, but doesn't want to be in danger in 2 weeks when we have the Coke 600. But here is how the playoffs look right now, who would be in and who would be out. We've got 10 different winners now this season, so 10 spots unofficially have been filled. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 11th would be Mitchell Collins, 12th Luke Rainey, 13th Zachary Fitzwater, 14th is Steve Morgan, 15th Carter Friesen, and 16th would now be his teammate Daniel Voiles. There is a 1 point gap now between him and the guy in 17th, which is Eric Monaco, so he's the first one out. 18th would be Edwin Mendez. He gained 6, so a good day for Edwin. 19th would be Matthew Logan, and 20th is Colin Denton. And now they don't have a week to think about points. What they have a week to think about now? The All-Star race. Bragging rights, a spot for Season 7 in the New Era Cup Series, and possibly a New Era cap of their choice.
Possibly.
Depending on what happens. Yeah, we're up in the stakes here. Possibly. But
both All-Star races.
Let's talk about Yeah, well, yours is a guarantee. You're offering $25. But anyway, let's talk All-Star Week, because this is going to be a fun All-Star Week.
Oh yeah.
You're doing yours on Friday night. I know I said I'd switch it to Thursday night, but my schedule has reopened up once again. So right now we can actually run on Sunday night. So that will be a fun one. You do not want to miss it. Mine will be at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, regardless of what day. Yours is what day and time?
Mine will be Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, the Open, qualifying, and the race all in one video, all in one premiere Friday night. So it's going to be a fun one there.
My race will be live streamed, so that means I will see everything that happens the same time you guys do as well. We will have the Open, then I will review the fan vote, and then we will have the All-Star race itself. Format to be determined. I will put it in the Discord when it's officially announced. Likely similar to last season, but it will be a fun one. You do not want to miss it. So yeah. What are you excited for most as we go into Charlotte?
I'm excited to see who actually wins the All-Star race on my end, because there are a lot of guys who have a shot at it, but there's also some guys who aren't in it, yet, who have had a lot of success in the past. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. It's just going to be fun. It's just going to be fun. That's all there is to it, and it's all for bragging rights and little cash as well. So it's going to be a good one for the Mellow Yellow All-Star race next week. But even for the New Era All-Star race, I'm looking forward to seeing if my driver can get in. For one thing, go ahead and vote for me, Benny Watson there. If you like me, vote for me. But yeah, it's going to be fun to see, how that all plays out too, because, it's going to happen live too. It's not going to be a premiere like, mine is. So, what happens, right, when we're all seeing it. So it's going to be a fun weekend next week. And not only that, Indy 250 week starts next week.
That's right. It does.
We're going to be single car qualifying Saturday and Sunday on Napa Fan for the Indy 250. And, you guys signed up for IndyCar Series last night, so we're looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I can't wait for that. So we've got a whole lot of stuff coming up in the NOFSRL, the All-Star race, then Indy 250 week, and then followed up with the Coca-Cola 600 in both the New Era Cup Series and the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. So on behalf of Napa Fan, I am Marty Sakala. You have been watching the NOFSRL New Era Cup Series. Congratulations to Brian Webb on win number 1. Thank you all for joining us. Until next time, so long from Martinsville.